Hey everybody, and welcome back to Uncle Pookie and the Riblets. I'm Uncle Pookie, and just wanted to do a little unboxing video. I'm going to start out, thank you to Innovating Solutions, the makers of the Tappecue fan and thermometer. The fan is a temperature pit controller that is an accessory to their 4-channel, which could be expanded to 8-channel barbecue thermometer. So it's a really cool setup, and just wanted to show you what all they've got in the box besides packing paper. We've got, of course, instructions and the shipping packing information, but we have the actual fan controller, it looks like here. Check all this out. The actual fan motor itself, steel and plastic. And the cool thing about it is, if I find the plug-in, here we go. Let's see what we've got as far as the power source goes. The fan plugs into a controller, and then the power source plugs into the controller. So, it's a pretty neat little setup. That way, there's an accident that happens, you don't rip the power cord. You know, if it's a direct wire deal, you don't have a chance to damage just the whole thing. You might be able to have a replacement power cord available, and that's one of the big things, is you always want to have backups. You want to know that if something does stop working, you have a workaround. Now the people at Innovating Solutions, they were telling me about this spring-loaded clip. So depending on what type of pit you're using this on, you could, you know, if you already have some sort of a fan control outlet or a pipe already set up, you could spring-load this. You could pinch that, put that into the pipe, and then let it put the pressure on the pipe to hold this up. It's not real heavy. I mean, it's got a little bit, is steel and plastic, so it does have a little weight to it. But they also told me of a little trick. This inside area here is threaded, so you can go to your local hardware store and buy a 3/4 inch pipe, threaded pipe nipple. And I bought one a little bit longer because of the way my drums are set up. I've got that long intake pipe, and it's a 2-inch inside diameter. Well, with this threading down in there, what I can do is just run that in there, let the collar of the fan rest on the top of my intake pipe, and I've also got the damper sitting off to the side, and I don't have to worry about it tipping out and falling out of that spring giving way, or you know, anything with any kind of force pushing out and bending that spring, because I've got, you know, 5 or 6 inches of pipe sticking down inside my intake pipe. It's not just going to accidentally fall out of there. So that's pretty neat workaround and pretty neat design that you can add on to that and not have to worry about someone walking by and accidentally stumbling into it, or, you know, maybe the cord is dangling around. We're working around the barbecue pit and trip into that. So that is a pretty cool little setup here. And we have the neat thing here is, if I can get it open again, the actual brains of the unit itself, the actual main portion here. It's a touchscreen control unit. So I don't have anything set up yet. I did look before we're doing this video, but I haven't set anything up yet. This will communicate with my phone through Wi-Fi. So if I'm at home and watching the game or something, I can control the fan temperature, the pit temperature, and I can see my meat temperatures all from this unit, but also on my phone. They've got an app that you download to your phone, and you can do all of your programming for this main control unit from your phone. So that's really a neat setup there. And what I was saying earlier, you have four plug-ins for temp probes, which they did include in the kit. They've got 4 meat probes, I'm sorry, 3 meat probes, because they sent me this particular unit. Oh, it is 4. That's what I was thinking. There was 4. They also sent me 2 pit probes, so you can use 1 pit probe and 4 meat probes, or you can just watch the meat with all 4 meat probes. But you also have these extenders. So what that means is you can say in port 1, you can put in one of these extenders, and you can put 2 probes on 1 port. And what I understand, the system acknowledges and understands that you have the splitter on here, so it will register 8 temperatures on this unit. So you could run 1 pit probe. You have to use one of these splitters if you're using the fan, so that the pit probe says, okay, the temperature is 220 degrees and it's supposed to be 250, turn the fan on. But then you have 3 more probes available. You could do three different meat probes if you're doing 1 big piece of meat and you want to know what the temperature is in the thick parts and the thin parts. If you have, or if you have multiple pieces of meat, if you have more than 1 butt on the smoker, you can do that. You can check each one individually, but you could get extra splitters and use these 3 probe ports here, turn that into 6. So you could actually use 6 meat thermometers and your pit probe and control your fan all from this 1 unit. So that's pretty phenomenal. And then also to be able to do all the controlling from your phone and not have to go back and forth to the unit at the cooker. So if it's cold or wet or rainy, you can do all this from the comfort of your home. So that's pretty cool there. This whole kit is set up. It also has the clips for the pit probes. You can put them on the grate. But it came with 2 extenders or 2 splitters. So as of right now, I could use all 4 meat probes from just 2 ports on the cooker. And then again, like I said, you run the pit probe off of 1 with the fan. If I wasn't going to use the fan, then I could just run a pit probe straight on to port number 2 or port number 1 and have 2, 3, and 4. I could use splitters and run, like I said, 6 thermometer probes. So it's really a neat setup. If you've never, these are pretty common, but they're kind of a pinch pressure clip. You pinch this in together and fit it in between the actual grates, whatever cooking grates you're using, but you also pinch it together to line these holes up right, and as you extend it, these holes get out of alignment to hold your pit probe in place. So that's what, if you pinch it too tight, it'll just slip right on through, but as there's outward pressure on that clip, that holds the clip in place. So you get it in between the grates, slip your probe in there, let go of it, that outward pressure holds it against the cooking grate and holds the tip probe there together. So anyway, just wanted y'all to see again, I appreciate Tappecue sending me their unit here and the fan controller, and we're getting ready to get everything plugged in, programmed into the phone, and we're going to get to working on it. So appreciate y'all tuning in. Stay tuned. If you're in the market for a temperature thermometer or a pit probe fan kit, give these folks a shout. Email them. They're from their website. They've got a contact us section. They're real responsive. They have been with me on answering questions. They volunteered the little tip about the pipe nipple going on the fan here, so I appreciate that, and looking forward to giving this a try and seeing how it works. So y'all stay tuned, like, subscribe to the video, and appreciate y'all tuning in.